Hello and welcome back to the Job Not Done podcast. I'm your host, Jackson Hogan. And today we're going to talk about how to be aggressive but also disciplined. See, too many people think discipline and aggression don't mix, but that you can be structured or you can be intense, but not both. But the truth is, guys, the truth is, when you combine the precision of discipline with the force of this controlled aggression, right? Not butting heads with everybody, but a controlled and passionate aggression. You become unstoppable. So today we're going to be breaking down how to channel your energy, stay focused, and attack your goals with relentless consistency. Because, like I've said in the past, consistency is key. If you've ever struggled to find that balance between going hard and staying in control, this video is for you. All right, let's get right into it. So, to start off with our first talking point of today, the difference between reckless aggression and controlled aggression. This is one of the most important points because this is one of the points that people strew or misalign or don't really understand, right? Because there's not proper context, yada, yada, yada. However, reckless aggression is emotion driven and it's unfocused. It often leads to burnout or mistakes. It's almost an ignorant kind of aggression. We go head first into things without thinking about something first, and things just fall apart. Everything falls apart. Your interactions with other people don't go well. You're consistently failing at something that you want to succeed at and be aggressive at. But controlled aggression is very intentional. So, this is using your energy and urgency towards a clear goal or aspiration. For example, let's take sports, boxing. I'm boxing in the gym. I'm having a tough day. I'm having a tough day, and I've always wanted to get better at gyms. That is a way I can take out my aggression and still use that energy and urgency towards a clear goal. That's a very simple, elementary one. However, I think it applies really well. So, another example would be the athlete who plays with intensity but never loses sight of the playbook. So, it's all about being in that flow state. Like your attack, your attack, your attack. You're everywhere at once kind of mentality. You got that sixth sense. You're intense. You're aggressive to the ball, but your mind is calm. Your mind is not all over the place. It's focused. When you have the mental clarity and the mental focus, the aggression is almost natural, guys. It's almost natural. Because when I say aggression, it's more of a synonymous word with intensity. That's what I mean, aggression. People think it's bad when I say aggression because like, oh, you're yelling at people or you're being abrasive with people. Shut the fuck up. I don't really give a fuck what you think anyways. But second of all, that's not what I mean. I'm not saying to be a fucking dickhead to everybody who comes near you or walks past you, right? Like Jim Bob's walking down the fucking street and this guy just makes eye contact with him and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to fucking go say something to him for looking at me." No. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is almost this go-getter mentality, confidence, commanding the presence, like we talked about last episode, and going to get that shit done. That kind of aggression. And this brings me to my second point. Why discipline alone isn't enough. Discipline keeps you consistent, but without drive, it can turn into complacency. And what do I mean by this? If you don't have a method behind the madness and everything is just madness, it's going to be stagnant. Your life's going to be stagnant. You're going to be stuck every single day, and you're never going to feel like you can get out of places. Right? Have a goal. We've talked about this. Like we've been building every episode a new topic to complete you as a whole man, woman, whatever. Right? To be a whole young man, to be a whole young woman, whatever it is. Make the goal, set the goal. Could be a small goal, large goal, big goal, short term goal, long term goal, midterm goal, whatever the fuck it is, do that, have that discipline, have that intentional aggression, and you won't become complacent. Because aggression fuels urgency and it fuels action and it pushes you out of these comfort zones that we always seem to sit into throughout our life. There's the difference between the calm grinder versus the driven finisher. And you're going to need both of those mindsets in one. And some days you're going to feel like you don't want to do either one, but you have to. You have to. And during it, it's going to suck. It's going to really fucking suck every single day. Sometimes for a whole week. Once you get past that point, once you have become that person who can calmly grind and be a driven finisher, the next challenge you face, it's going to be so much easier to face. You're going to be like, let's get this shit done. Let's face it. Let's attack this shit head on. You're going to be like, bring the challenges towards me instead of pushing them away. Because that's how you fix problems in your life. You attack them head on and you don't let them consume you. Number 3, building aggression the proper way. Set clear, high stakes goals that push you forward. Set a goal that you think you cannot achieve. Like David Goggins says, set a goal that you think you cannot achieve. Because you may surprise yourself and you're like, oh shit, I can do this. And then you move on to the next great thing, right? Just like we talked about taking those challenges head on. Train your response to pressure and don't shy away from competitions, challenges, or anything that you may find difficult or hard to understand or hard to complete, whatever. Do the hard shit. Because once you do the hard shit, everything else becomes easy. And then you're on a whole other level. As an athlete, if you try to learn the difficult techniques, if you try to learn the difficult skill sets, once you have gotten, you don't even have to have mastered them. If you are consistent and you are relatively successful, obviously no one's perfect, but if you're relatively successful, consistent with those things, you're going to be miles apart from the majority of your competition. Doesn't matter what sport you play. So train that response to pressure. Turn frustration into fuel instead of letting it derail you. And this is a super important one. I want to take a little bit of extra time to talk about this because when I say turn frustration into fuel, I don't mean resentment. I don't mean hatred. What I mean is if somebody's pissing you off at school, let's say, turn that frustration into pumping fucking iron at the gym at fucking 5 a.m. in the morning. Turn that frustration in to beating the shit out of the boxing bag. Turn that frustration in to having a disciplined mindset and a disciplined daily, weekly routine that separates you from your peers, whether that's athletically, academically, in the business world. It doesn't matter what it is, but fucking do it. That's the main thing. You gotta fucking do it, and you can't let it derail you. Do not let it derail you because it will spiral out of control and you're gonna be all over the place. Trust me, I've been there before. It fucking sucks. Okay? It fucking sucks and it's hard. It's really hard to get out of it. So turn that frustration into fuel. Leading me to my next point, strengthening your discipline to support aggression. So this is where we're combining the two now. Create those non-negotiable habits like we've talked about in the past that keep you grounded, that keep you consistent, that keep you in the ideal state of mind that you would like to be in so you can be as efficient as human as possible. Stay grounded in your goals and create those non-negotiable habits. Like when you get up in the morning, don't fucking scroll on TikTok for fucking 5 hours or whatever the fuck it is. It's probably not 5 hours, probably like 2. Well, who cares? Get up and just brush your teeth. It's so simple. Or put your socks on, or take a shower, or wake up, meditate, listen to a fucking audiobook, do your fucking yoga bowls and shit. I don't fucking know. Do something that you think is going to help you. Do something that's productive. Do something that is going to increase your advantages in faith, family, finances, and fitness. That's what I want you to do. When you wake up, you need to tell yourself within the first 5 seconds of waking up, how can I make my faith, family, finances, and fitness better? Or what are the things that I can do to lead up to those things? And track this progress daily. Track it daily, even weekly. Sometimes it might be weekly, depending on what it is. Measure it so your aggression has direction. Because once you see improvement, let's say you want to lose weight. Okay. You're whatever, I don't know, 185, right? You want to lose 10 pounds. You measure it the next week, you lost 5 pounds. Good. Keep letting it fuel you. Keep letting it push you in the direction that you want to be. And once you get to that 10 pounds lost goal, do 20 pounds. Say, I want to gain a couple pounds of muscle now, or I want to lose more fat, or I want to increase my cardiovascular endurance. Whatever it is, track it and let it fucking fuel your addiction to grow and to become a successful ass motherfucker. That is what you need to do. And use these systems or use systems that you create, routines, schedules, accountability, self improvement to prevent emotional decision making. Because if you can make your decision making based through aggressive, intentional, but disciplined actions, you are going to conquer the world. You are going to be the outlier in the room. You are going to be the outlier, like we talked about. And I want every single one of you to be the outlier. There's a lot of people in this world. There going to be a lot of outliers. And it's going to be different for everybody. You know, school, sports, we all have different hobbies, interests. But fucking be the outlier. Try to be that person who says, no, I'm going to fucking be the best at this. Or, hey, I'm going to be the best at fucking, I don't know, handwriting or some shit. Fucking put time in. Put that diligence into your fucking work ethic, no matter what you do. Moving on to my last point. Now it's the application of applying both in life and your work, your calling, your vocation. So in sports, attack every play, but stick to the game plan. I mentioned this example for baseball. If you have two strikes, right? I played baseball for a really long time. If you have two strikes, you have to have a two strike mentality. And what does that mean? Well, it means you have to be aggressive but disciplined. The strike zone isn't going to be perfect. The umpire is not going to be perfect. So you're going to probably have to swing at pitches that are going to be outside the zone. Or you are going to have to make the adjustment because the umpire might be opening up the strike zone. You're going to have to be aggressive, but you're also going to have to be disciplined and not chase stupid fucking pitches in the dirt. That's a great example. In the business world, don't settle for less. Look, I'm not a fucking big entrepreneur, but I can tell you what, from the other influential entrepreneurs in the world, the most successful guys in the world, they will always say never settle for less and always push the boundaries of what can be done. Always push the boundaries. But what does that mean, Jackson? That means pushing the boundaries in a way that's attainable, in a way that's smart, in a way that's not going to put you in some crisis, right? But that's going to enlarge your understanding and make you a more successful person. That is where you need to gauge yourself at. And in business, like I just said, take bold action, but back it up with consistent execution. Have those meetings with your, like, if you are a self sustaining company, like you created your own company, have more meetings to make sure you are attaining the goals that you want for your company because you want that shit to succeed. And then maybe one day you sell it and you start making income off that one and you start a new one and now you're making a shitload of money. And then in personal growth, push yourself daily, but never at the cost of your long term vision. As an athlete, you're training a lot. Let's say you have a goal to become a professional athlete. It doesn't matter what sport it is. And right now, you're in college. You're a college athlete, and there are a lot of tournaments, games coming up that are important for the school and important for you. But in the long term, you're really looking towards that pro appearance or that pro tryout or whatever it is. And this could be this big promotion meeting or that big sales pitch. As an athlete, you can't overdo it. Because I know as athletes, and especially those people who just want to grind every day, you want to go as hard as you can every day. But we are human, and it's not physically possible to do that all the time. Some weeks you're going to have better recovery than others. Even if you're eating healthy, being consistent, getting good sleep, being hydrated, all those things. But don't ever let it come at the expense to your long-term vision. But stay consistent, be honest with yourself. That's very important. But don't let it cost you your future. And to end today's video, guys, I just want to tell you one thing. Aggression without discipline is chaos. Discipline without aggression is stagnation. But when you fuse the two, when you combine the two together, when you attack your goals with precision and controlled force, you create this momentum, this movement that's almost impossible to stop, guys. Like, it is just a fucking freight train. That caboose is pushing that fucking train car up the hill. It's fucking unstoppable. So be relentless, be strategic, go after what you want with fire in your chest and a plan in your hands. All right, guys, thanks for watching the video. I hope you loved this video. Make sure to leave a like, a comment, make sure to subscribe on the YouTube, leave a rating on the Spotify, and I will end with this, guys. The work's not done, and that's because the job's not done. All right, guys, see you later. Peace.